The monopoly has begun. And no, I'm not specifically talking about the game that you have to screw over your friends. Most people in this world have a streaming service, whether it's one of the most common ones such as Netflix, Hulu, or Peacock. But then there's us anime fans that have those obscure ones. Crunchyroll, HiDive, Verve. There's a few that are out there or have been out there. However, sooner rather than later, there's going to be one. We have to talk about Crunchyroll and what they're doing with their monopoly. And also, how does this affect you as a viewer? But before we get started, if you like the content, drop a like and subscribe. Now then, let's go ahead and talk about the Orange app. Oh, whoops, sorry, wrong one. Let me take a guess. You probably have more than one streaming service amongst your friend group or family. And if I had to take another guess, if you're an anime fan, you probably had more than just Crunchyroll. Just to list off some of the most obvious ones, of course you have HiDive, Funimation, and Verve. Streaming services we've all used to get our daily dose of weeb.
Happy birthday, Kotonoha!
But you see, if you've been around the block for just a little bit, you know that Verve does not exist anymore. Verve used to be an alternative for Crunchyroll and had a little bit more dubs. But within the past few years, it's been eaten up. Verve does not exist anymore. So because of that, us anime fans only had 3 real choices to go to. Of course, the most obvious options are going to be Funimation and Crunchyroll. But the other outlier that still exists is HiDive. Now, HiDive does have some anime series that you're not going to find on Crunchyroll. The first example I think of, which is such a shame, is the To Love Ru series. If you try to find this series on Crunchyroll, it's a no-go. But don't worry, if you have a HiDive account, you have every single season of this show. And I'm talking about To Love Ru in its full glory. But anyway, the news that you may not have heard about is Funimation is coming to a close. Funimation is getting ate up by Crunchyroll, and it's not going to be a thing anymore. So for most of you, when you try to log into your Funimation app, it's going to ask you to switch over to Crunchyroll. Now honestly, Funimation didn't have anything special about it either. Pretty much everything you wanted to see on Funimation was found on Crunchyroll too. It may have taken some time to happen, but that is true. And realistically, you only had Funimation because you had simulcast or you forgot you had it. Now Funimation being gone isn't really a huge deal itself. It's like a parent having a kid that you simply don't care about at all. But what you should be worried about is what's going to happen next. You see, for most of us, you have 2 main sources to find brand new anime. You either have Crunchyroll or you have HiDive. And as I mentioned before, there are some things on HiDive that you won't find on Crunchyroll. Another good example is Oshi no Ko that came out in 2023. And that's not just true for newer animes, that's also true for some older animes. For example, you're not going to find the Slice of Life K-On! Anywhere else but HiDive. But the question becomes, how long can these streaming services hold themselves together? It's true that there are some other streaming services that don't really specialize in anime, but they do have anime there. For example, one of the ghosts that people still talk about today is Death Note. It's crazy to think about Netflix buying the rights for Death Note and they don't want to give it up. A realistic example is telling your friend to go watch Death Note on Netflix and then telling him to go get Crunchyroll. It's just not a friendly thing to do to the consumer. But as the actual companies such as Netflix, they're doing the right thing to get some extra cash. And you know for a fact that they really don't care about the animes that they have. It's just a great way to bring a subcategory into their domain. But in my personal opinion, I can tell you this. As annoying as it may be to have multiple streaming services, especially when it comes using them for the same genre, it's probably better to have them split up like this. I mean, think about it in this sense. Some of the exclusives that I'm putting on screen now, you're not going to see them in Crunchyroll. But Crunchyroll is currently providing us their catalog at $7.99. And that's US dollars with no ads. But let's say you want to go watch Death Note with no ads. In that case, you need to get on there and charge $15 a month. It is literally double the price. And the sad thing is, it only gets worse when you look at other streaming services that have anime. Hulu is another streaming service that has animes, and they'll charge you $18 with no ads. $18 US dollars. For my calculations, and it probably still is true, that's more than an hourly wage from every single state. And listen, maybe I'm blind, maybe I just can't see 18 on this list, but the point is, it's too much. Now, I'm always going to sympathize that the smaller amount is better for the consumer. And that's mainly because there's multiple different avenues to find the same product that you want. If it is true that you can't pay $18 a month to watch Death Note on Netflix, then you can still go watch another anime. But no matter what, I'm never going to be the one to call out broke boys. That's just not me. At the end of the day, they continue to raise their own price because of competition. But what if that competition ceases to exist? If you have a brain, you know where I'm going.
Like, if you're a broke boy, just say so.
No, for real, in all seriousness, it's time to start cutting back. You know how we are as seasonal anime viewers. If you want to watch a series, that 1 week will turn into 12 weeks. Having to wait a full week every single time for a new release is pretty hard. But these streaming services do not care because it's a good way to keep you invested. In other words, they're getting some extra change for just making you wait. So if you're not tough enough to wait to the very end of the series airing, what you probably need to do is start cutting off your subscription when you're not using it. Say for example, in this current anime season, you're probably going to be looking at it for 12 weeks. But maybe you don't want to watch Solo Leveling for 12 weeks straight. Maybe it's better just to binge watch it at the end. And if you believe that's the best way to do it, then why are you currently paying for Crunchyroll? And for real, this is true even if you are switching series to series. Maybe the winter season has nothing but bops that you want to watch. But then when you look at the fall season, maybe there's nothing there that you care about. Which is absolute cap. None of you believe this. I refuse to believe that. In that sense, it's best for you to cancel your subscription until you need it for a rainy day. Because here's what's eventually going to happen, people. One day, Crunchyroll is going to eat HiDive too. And once that happens, there will be one anime service left for us. And when that happens, if you want to watch the new hot anime, it will not be on Netflix or Hulu. And Crunchyroll will know that, so they will increase their price. You should probably know by now that I am not sponsored. All I'm saying is to get ready. Crunchyroll is going to be taking over everything sooner rather than later. Crunchyroll already has its own award ceremony, and we're lucky that they have shows on here that you can't even watch on Crunchyroll. But anyway, this is a start of something big, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And with that, thank y'all for watching. If you're wondering what to watch next, you can go watch this Crunchyroll safe video over here. And I should probably make a positive Crunchyroll video next, so that's coming soon. But for right now, thank y'all for watching. Y'all have a good one. Take care. Peace.